There, welcome back to my channel. It's Cusp of Beauty Tarot, here to do another cusp reading for you. This one is for January 12th to February 12th, 2020, and it is for Gemini-Cancer. Relationship reading. See what's going on for you and the person that you're thinking about currently, or just for this reading, who's on your mind. Gemini-Cancer. We've got two knights upside down. We have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups. So definitely could be in a stalemate with somebody where there's no communication, no offers coming through. Hate to say it, it might have lost its passion. You could actually be dealing with two different people where you're disappointed for some of you. And here we have two kings. Wow, that was interesting. Two knights. And now I have the King of Wands in the reverse with the King of Pentacles in the upright. So definitely could be having a lack of energy, passion, or almost that someone is revealing a manipulative side if they're doing anything. But they have another side, or you're dealing with a different person that is more on the up and up, more into maybe work, building their, abundance, building their money, maybe dealing with a promotion at work, focused on the work end. But they're also, those two characters have the potential to be good family people. Knight of Wands in the reverse, King of Wands in the reverse, not so much. To me, that's definitely player energy or manipulator energy. So you might be dealing with some of those conflicting energies or two people. Let's see. So you definitely have a bit of an emotional up and down going on for you. As you know, or maybe don't know, we're just coming off of a full moon, Cancer full moon eclipse. So it could be kind of an emotionally, if you've got Cancer in your chart, it tends to be, this one's actually a fairly positive eclipse, but endings, beginnings, sorting through old stuff that's not working. Generally, the moon is very emotional. It could be very fear-based. You could be kind of fearful and emotional right now over things. You see your person as the Six of Pentacle energy, so they might be dealing with more than one person. They might not be dealing with the both of you fairly if they are. Could be that some people, and I sometimes view this as the breadcrumb card. Maybe they're only giving you breadcrumbs, so you're kind of not getting much from this person, or it's just not good, an equal give and take. You feel about this person like you really want to communicate, or you did recently communicate, probably messages or Facebook, DM or text or something. Your person is in a conflict or kind of a contentious battling energy. They could be battling with themselves, and we definitely saw that they could be kind of two sides of one person. So that's kind of weird and interesting. We're going to clarify a bunch though. They see you in the energy of the Seven of Pentacles. So if you've been suspicious or stepping back to evaluate things at all, given what you're fearful about or what's gone on recently, they do see you as doing that. That's something they definitely feel you're doing. How they feel about you, though, is the Devil. So they either feel that they can at times be very intensely attracted to you, or that they feel there's just this bond, there's this inexplicable bond between the two of you, or you've been through a lot of cycles together. I think you've been through a lot of cycles together, and maybe they see you evaluating that to not just go on automatic with them. The energy, between the two of you is you're both being suspect. You're both being a bit guarded. I think there's probably an energy of the two of you knowing that you guys can get heated or in conflict. And that, sometimes that could be in good ways and sometimes not. But I think you're both taking an approach, this would say to me, you're both taking an approach of maybe not wanting to recreate any negative patterns, but also not really wanting to move away from the person, like conflicted. The obstacle would be, is anybody really extending a real offer here? Is anybody extending a light romantic offer? Is somebody communicating? Is somebody going to come forward? the advice would be to think about the bigger picture. Think about making connections. Think about family right now. Think about the future that you want for your emotional picture. Hang on to the vision of happiness that you want. If this is not fitting to your vision of happiness, you may need to think about that. It may be very right that you're evaluating things carefully. It doesn't matter if it's out of fear. I mean, maybe, sometimes fear can be very close to instinct. And if your gut and your instinct or your heart space or whatever you do to figure this out is giving you reason to pause, even if there's a little fear or some fear mixed in with that, it could be actually wise. It could be a wise inclination that's helping you pause here. The potential outcome is the High Priestess, which is intuition, tapping into your intuition. And the bottom of the deck is the Emperor. So taking control, setting good boundaries. There's an energy of maybe less emotion and trying to get back on track with more control, better boundaries to create what you want to create. I think both of you. I think neither one of you wants to be, and I have the Empress at the bottom of the deck now after the Emperor, Empress and Emperor. That's very interesting. So I think neither one of you wants to be creating old negative patterns or getting swept in backward. It's probably an energy from both of you that wants to move forward and drop the burden that you sometimes feel this relationship has created. And the only major arcana on the table are potential outcome of the High Priestess, which is, maybe not all the pieces are known, but there's a tapping into wisdom, fear, and intuition that you might be in the space of, and the Devil. So those are the only main influences for major arcana besides the Emperor. So let's see. What is the moon about for you, Gemini-Cancer, during this time? 5 of Swords, and again, another 6 of Pentacles. So I don't think you're giving up easily. I think that there is somebody who wants to win. There's a win-lose between you and this person. I think you have your pride. That's what I'm getting at. You have your pride. You don't want to be given the breadcrumbs here. You'd rather win, and you'd rather uphold your standards and your ego than be treated badly by this person, if in fact there's anything that's not meeting your needs right now. The 6 of Discs, you see them as the 6 of Pentacles because they're not coming through with an offer. And they're not creating. Queen of Wands in the reverse. And because there's something you may not know, and they're not offering up something. There could be somebody else in the background, and they're not, they're not being fair. They're not creating a fair environment with you. The reason why you feel the 8 of Wands towards them is it has had upheaval. There's been upheaval on this picture, on your vision of an ideal love relationship or family situation with them. And you've wanted to, your communication has been around you still hoping for extending them an offer to sustain this important partnership with them. So if you've just communicated or you're thinking of communicating, that's what it would be about for you. They're in the space of the 5 of Wands, or this combative energy, because they want to win. They're letting go on some aspects of this relationship. But they still have this feeling of victory. They wanted clarity, but they're letting go on how tight they hold on to this. One more card on this, and a Queen of Cups. Yeah, that's exactly right. So then they're working less at it. They might see you working less at it too. So you might be mirroring each other. You do want to communicate though. They see you evaluating it, so not that you're doing it like impulsively. They know you're evaluating because you want to get victory, or you're moving. You might be moving, so you're not like racing to talk to them or be with them. You're not coming through with like, oh my gosh, come spend time with me. Let's recreate something. They do see you reevaluating it. And and coming to some decision that you need to make, like a heart and head decision here, get things on track. They may also literally see you traveling, so they don't feel like the decision around this is so quick right now. They do feel the devil for you, and that they feel that way because, and they don't want to be in that drama, and they're almost like distancing themselves from deciding about it and fighting for it because they're nervous about it. And you collectively are mirroring that energy with the Nine of Wands. So for many of you that this is reading for, it is that you are both skeptical and have been around the block on this before and are concerned about making good choices. And literally we have a crossroads, like there's two ways to go here. And literally there's a King of Cups and a King of Wands. So either you're dealing with a person who has those two sides to them, or there's two main players in this scenario for many of you. Wow, this is interesting. I got to pull another card on that. So King of Cups and King of Wands as the joint energy for the two of you, to me, is maybe reading it like you have a more emotional approach and they have a more kind of charming, magnetic passion approach, and you tend to be just more emotion based. And right now it's hard to kind of balance this relationship. There could be an ending to this relationship you guys are both thinking about. The challenge is in all of this, is anybody going to extend this Knight of Cups offer? Ace of Cups offer? Not a decision right now, or no one's making judgment, or there's not that reconciliation just yet. So during this time period, I think that's a challenge. If it would be a reconciliation, you might need to give each other space. The advice is to hold true to your vision of happy family and what you most want, because you felt left out in the cold of that possibility, left out in the cold of the Ten of Pentacles, because one or both of you have not been giving. You're wondering what's there for you. It may be that for now, that outcome of the High Priestess is again because of skepticism and because of one or both of you going off to think about this. Skepticism and needing to retreat to think about this. And the undercurrent of getting in charge, getting yourself in control, back into the helm of your life, is going to come through not rushing in and communicating, holding back for a little, seeing what truly makes you happy, trying to deal less with ego, because I think that obviously the Emperor is a lot on ego. There's definitely some other cards with ego that I mentioned on here. And there is a Tower here. So being too forceful could create a huge shift. Rushing in could create a shift that you don't want to push right now. I'm just kind of tend to be the believer that there's not necessarily a really terrible bad thing when the Tower comes through spontaneously. It really usually means that people are not making the changes they could be making or should be making for their situation and evolution. So something else has to kind of happen. Usually there's good things on the other side of the Tower, because it's only going to disintegrate things that weren't working. And I think that with the full moon and eclipse, that could be a situation. So you can't make this up with the moon. And I said that one to me was more about fear. This Mystic Moon Oracle fear. Can't you see the man the hand coming through the glass, kind of spooky? We've got fear on your side. Yet we have big dreams on your side. And the advice, I was interpreting this Ten of Cups to be hold on to your dreams and hold on to your vision of what you want to create, and don't lessen your standards. So hold on to your, your bigger dreams around relationship or life, And, if it's union, envision a union, envision this union, envision a better union, but envision a union that is, and we've got the moon behind it, which is really interesting. So this would say to me, it's like a spiritual union. You are dealing with a spiritual union, or maybe there's one that's coming in, that wouldn't be a bad thing either. So that's on your side. On the person that you're thinking about side, who's not sure if they're putting energy in, who knows you're kind of being a little skeptical right now, sees you as the devil, so they know they're tied to you. They can't help it, can't fight it. They know there's this tie, may not always produce the best patterns. Cycles, you've got the cycles. I just read that for the last reading for Taurus, Gemini, Gemini-Cancer, so I don't know who you're dealing with, but cycles, again, that's a moon thing, and we are in that phase. So pay attention. They're paying attention to the cycles or feeling it. Devotion. They may be seeking meditation, prayer, higher wisdom, and purge. They may be thinking about this eclipse kind of emotion of what's working for them, what's not. Like what do they need to be doing, thinking about. And this was the bottom of the deck on this received, like there is a messages. I feel like even if you're, again, even if you're not in close contact with the person, you may be hearing or seeing each other or telepathically communicating in dreams. Intensely, you might be connecting with this person. And even if you don't think about it, they may be connecting with you, even if you're in separation. So picking up on some twin flame messages. Let's pull 3 of those for your person. Our connection still affects me. You inspire me. Whatever's gone on with the 2 of you has had a positive influence on them. Is it possible to forgive and forget? So it is on their mind, this notion of maybe some negative things have happened. Maybe you guys have a negative cycle that comes out. At some point, they may want to clear and purge that and come out of this on the other end of positivity with you. I don't know if it means just kind of go back where we were. I don't think it's go back where we were. I think it's if you were to come together, it would have to be on different terms on both of your sides. It would have to be to a higher level, higher standard, less ego, less fear, and in a very brand new way. So that's what I'm getting. Hope this made sense in some way. Let me know. Please comment and share and subscribe. Come back again, and Happy New Year. See you soon.